Hi, it's Matthew here. I am with the wonderful guitar maker Mark Burnet.
Hi.
I'm visiting him here in his stunning workshop in East Linton, which is over on the east, not quite the east coast, but getting towards the east coast.
I'd describe it as East Coast.
You would go East Coast? All right, okay, we're east coast of Scotland. So I've travelled through from Glasgow, and I'm going to spend a bit of time finding out all about Mark's guitar building and guitar making and his history with it, and also celebrating the fact that Mark is amazingly building the first prize guitar for the competition taking place at the Classical Guitar Retreat this summer. And in fact, that guitar is actually in front of us.
Yep, in various bits, various stages.
On the bench, which is amazing. But before we get started looking at the wonderful instrument you're building for July, I just wanted to sort of ask you a few questions about your history building guitars, how you got into it.
Yeah, okay. I guess I got into it by having no direction coming out of school. And I sat down with a careers advisor he basically asked me what I was interested in. And I was like, I'm music, not very good player, and then woodworking, and he was like, combine those two and go make instruments.
Nice, that's good advice from a career advisor.
Yeah, I was quite surprised. He didn't just go to uni and get a degree. He actually listened to me. He found me a course which was at the college in Glasgow, Annesland. So, and ended up going there for 2 years, and that's where it all started.
It all began there.
It's all good from there. Yeah,
I love that careers advisor moment. When I did the same thing. It's a thing you get here in Scotland in the schools. They send you to a sort of careers advisor, and the career advisor came up with greenkeeping for me, like as in golf. Like going out and tending the greens, making sure it's fine for somebody putting, which if I think now what I do is it's wildly offbeat, but there you go, so but you had a better quality
I think I did,
of careers advising. So you're studying in Glasgow, in Annesland at the college, and tell us about that experience. So that was with Michael Ritchie. He was teaching there.
He came in occasionally to teach. He wasn't a permanent teacher at that point. It was Bill Keldy.
Bill, of course, Bill Keldy. Great Scottish maker.
Paul Hyland. They were the two permanent teachers at that time. But I met Mike there. It was a really great introductory course. It's quite basic what you kind of learn there, but it kind of introduces you to just general woodworking skills that you need. Then you go on to build an instrument. But it was just trying to, it was a brand new world to me, that sort of level of woodworking. I basically had to relearn everything.
Okay. Nice.
High school, it's
not quite cut it.
No. But that's where I met Mike, and then obviously I went on from the college to go work with Mike. Which is where I learned the more traditional Granada methods of construction, the history, and just being in that environment with Mike and listening to him. It was very, very beneficial.
And I guess that's the difference between being in higher education, and of course I'm in a higher education scenario myself. Like, I teach so much, and it's not that you're completely constrained by those environments, but I'm sure at the college, and I'm sure the students always benefit when they get this sort of more direct and like almost apprenticeship like advice, where you're sort of, you're not, it's not a curriculum, you're just finding out everything about what you're so interested in doing, making guitars, and you're finding out direct from someone like Mike. So it's a different experience. I'm quite jealous of you going up every day. You were driving from this area all the way up to Mike's workshop.
When he was in Fintry, so it's 2 hours in the car there, 2 hours in the car back.
Well, you see, you wanted to do it. That's the thing.
You
were clearly
drive and focus to just wake up at 6 a.m. and get in the car.
And how long did you spend with Mike then?
I think it was roughly 9 months. I never actually got to finish the guitar that I was making with Mike, which was unfortunate, but
well, at least
that's one of these things. We had that pretty much made. It was just the finishing.
Yeah. But that was because you then went on to go away from Scotland actually and study outside of Scotland.
I got offered a course, a place in the course in Belgium in the Centrum voor Music Instrument in Bouw. CMB. That's in Prus. So I got.
That's a really prestigious course.
It's well done. Internationally renowned.
Yeah.
That was cool. A lot of international students, different country, different culture. Really, really beneficial being there. I was in the steel string course initially, so not the classical ones.
Do you still build some steel strings?
I do.
Yeah.
Not too often, but mainly focus on nylons.
I'll give you a little tour of the workshop. Throughout the interview, and you've got guitars hanging everywhere. I mean, you're just seeing one wall or one corner, but there's everything. There's archtop jazz guitars. There's what look like really old kind of parlor guitars, bass guitars, steel string guitars. You've got it all hanging from these.
Well, I do a lot of repair work. Sort of. Locals and stuff. Which I enjoy doing that actually. It's great to meet people. And, a lot of the local guys who just play down the pub and stuff. They're great because a lot of them have just supported me since opening and stuff. So
well, your location is amazing. I mean, again, you'll see all this, but you're right on the high street. Like the butcher's is across the road from you. It's
it's good for the pies.
Well,
maybe not good for the belly.
Well, the pies look great actually, but that's so cool though, because it's like, well, where's the guitar maker? Well, he's just opposite the butcher's. I mean, it's like, it feels very old school. It feels very traditional. East Linton's a little town. It's a little Scottish town. It's really beautiful, and you've got this really prominent space. So people must. I mean, these big windows. I've already been waving in as we've been.
I get people stopping and staring at me while I'm working and stuff. So. I've only been here since October.
Okay,
so this is actually relatively new. This one.
Great space.
It is good.
So it makes you part of the community, like a guitar builder being part of the fabric of things in the town, which is great.
It probably helps that I grew up here, so I know everyone I know.
Well, they'll be proud of you, and I mean, it's like more and more in recent years with yourself. Obviously, Michael Ritchie, who I've been playing his guitars for a long time, and you gained so much advice and help from him as you were coming up. And then there's other guitar makers, Ryan Gibson, there's Pete Beer, Colin Morrison, who I used to play one of his guitars many moons ago. And I think he's building a lot of steel strings these days. But there's great guitar makers here in Scotland, and finding out about what you're all doing and celebrating everything that you're up to is just. I'm sure people of East Linton are proud of you because you grew up here, and it's like guitar players like me. So. We're all proud as well. It's fantastic, So you're in Belgium, and you probably got that culture shock that we all do when we go to Europe, and we go, oh, they really love music and art over here.
It was a really integral part of their society, music and art and stuff. And then drank a lot of Belgian beer.
Absolutely.
It's great.
Yeah, you can probably, if you've ever visited a luthier workshop, when you come through the door, you get that smell, and it's like the woods, the dust, all that kind of stuff. The Belgian beers have that sort of heady aroma as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you came back from Belgium, that's you. You did you had your basic woodwork stuff in the college in Glasgow. Meet Michael, do pretty much kind of like a working in his workshop, apprentice kind of thing. And you're over in Belgium, and now you're back and you're establishing yourself as an excellent young Scottish maker. So how was the process of like, okay, I'm not studying anymore, I'm making this real? Like, this is 4 walls and a roof. This is a real workshop. How do you get from?
Well, I moved back home, parents' house. Set up in their garage, got a bench. I didn't really do much in their garage. It took a while for me to find a premise to actually be able to work in. It ended up being random room connected to this lovely couple's house.
Ah, okay.
Out in the country. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was weird though, because it was literally their house kind of like surrounded it. It was just this random little room. So that's where I started off, and it was tricky going at the start to try and get people to know that I'm here and I'm doing it and stuff. Again, I managed to get quite a bit of repair work in and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
Helps pay the rent.
Yeah, tides you over. Yeah.
And I've been. One of the things Mike always said to me was just keep building.
Yeah.
Just keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Which is something that I do. I just keep building, and so far most of them I've sold.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That helps.
It's like musicians. It's like you keep playing, you keep building, you keep making. You know, you're and all the time you're crafting your art form, and you never know where the opportunities come from. You know, I'm always saying to the students, like, you don't know who's listening.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't know who's relating to what you're doing, and sort of you know, really understanding what you're trying to say when you're making guitars or build or work with the wood, or for example when we're trying to figure out interpretations or how we want to present music. Like, you know, sometimes we think like it's got to be picked up by an agent, or it's got, you know, an overnight success, you know, and I think like I'm up to a 42-year overnight success here. Do you know what I mean? You know, that's like, you know, I'm not sure it's there yet. So it's like, I love Mike's idea of just keep at it, you know, keep working away.
Just keep doing it.
Yeah. So, and in terms of like, obviously with Michael, you will definitely been going into the Granada methods and the sort of really traditional Spanish methods. Obviously in Poors in Belgium, you're probably doing, you know, everything, you know, as well. So where does your heart lie in building guitars? I mean, I don't see any double tops, I don't see any Nomex, I don't see that kind of stuff. It looks like a traditional guitar workshop to me.
Yeah, it's I think that's Mike's influence on me. I like the more traditional side of it, and I keep my making very traditional. I'm not into a lot of these new modern things. And then
so traditional woods as well, cedar, spruce.
Indian rosewood.
Yeah.
Mahogany I do like, but that's more steel string stuff. Ebony, you know, all that sort of stuff. And then my main focus is classical nylons as well.
Beautiful.
Which again, I keep them very traditional in their look in general. And I don't favour shiny embezzlements or anything. So it's all about the wood. Yeah, and you like the oil finish as well. So rather than the sort of really, you know, French polish, which is kind of very traditional, people really, that is the tradition. You know, but I enjoy the oil finish guitars as well. I think the first guitar maker I saw with that was Kevin Aram, and then Michael was doing it as well, and he was sort of, you know, really interested in it. And there was I think one of Michael's guitars went to a student that I was teaching quite a few years ago, and it was just the most beautiful oil finished guitar, and it was the first time I thought, it just feels like feeling and looking right at the wood, you know. It has a really natural look to it, which is probably one of the reasons I like it. I don't feel like it detracts from the guitar in any way. No, not at all. If anything, I think like it's not, you know, sometimes you get these obviously, you know, quite cheap guitars that have got these lacquer kind of finishes and stuff like that, which I think, you know, it's another, you know, can imagine if the guitar maker just winces in pain, but it's putting a barrier between, you know, the soundboard and then how things are developing, how the sound is developing. The oil seems to me like a really logical and very sort of organic way to let the wood breathe and let the wood, you know, for sure. But and then so you're finishing with the oil finish, very traditional. And what about the plantilla? Have you been drawing your own, been making your own? You were talking about that a little bit when I arrived today, you know. Yes, that's for my new guitar that I'm developing, which is that the one up here? Yeah. That's a 640 scale. And I started from the bare bones. Own plantilla, and then I've just been slowly developing it. So that's the shape of the instrument. That's you actually designing your own body shape, and of course, like within the traditions and the confines of what a guitar looks like, but you're not copying
Sanfelio or
No.
any of these other plantillas that are very famous.
The 650 I build is actually Robert Boucher,
Okay. Yeah.
which is the plantilla that you build at the school in Belgium.
Ah, okay.
So that's where I was introduced to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, beautiful. Well, I think it's time for us to dig down into what is on your bench today.
This is the guitar that I'm building for the competition, which is in July at the Classical Guitar Retreat. Started building it probably end of November, start of December, so I've made quite good progress. Yeah, spruce top, European, lovely tight grain. Quite a modern rosette. This is a new rosette that I designed actually for my 640, which we talked about. So this is another take on it. So that's quite unique and interesting. Starting to brace it. This will be braced this coming week. So I still need to glue all my fan braces, which step across my bridge support bar. Yes, that's kind of the top that's coming together. I've got my braces here actually, so these will fit on here. They'll, eventually be glued onto the top, and that kind of gives you an idea of the traditional fan braced classical seven fans. Back, we're going traditional Indian rosewood, which is a lovely piece, and then cedar neck, Indian rosewood head plate. This still needs quite a bit of work. After I've braced the top, I'll be working on my neck joint and then carve the heel before I assemble the guitar. So that's kind of the next step. That's the machine heads that will be going on it, which are Irving Sloan's, which are pretty much one of the best in the business. And then we're doing Indian rosewood, fingerboard and bridge as well. So a lot of rosewood, which I've already slotted my fingerboard, and Indian rosewood sides. And that's kind of the bare bones of it, really.
Gorgeous guitar.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah,
Thank you.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So tell us a little bit about this instrument. This is the one you've got strung up and ready to go in the workshop.
It's kind of it's the bougiest one I've built, if you will.
Yeah.
Spruce top.
Yep.
Which has some lovely bear claw. I don't know if the camera will be able to see.
We can get in a bit closer. Yeah.
It's almost like a lightning bolt, I think.
Yeah.
And then quite an intricate rosette with the purfling to match.
Yeah. It seems very and bougie. I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's very.
But again,
very ornate.
it's all natural wood.
Yeah.
All built by hand and such.
And then this lovely red.
It's Cocobolo.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Dust. You get such a dusty workshop.
No, it's awful.
It's lovely.
I did dust it down.
It's lovely. It's lovely. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Cocobolo back inside.
Yeah, that has that lovely red hue, almost wine coloured. It's gorgeous. Yeah.
It will darken over time. Cocobolo does actually go to a dark brown.
Okay.
And then it's cedar neck.
Yeah.
And then you've got the ebony Cocobolo heads playing as well, so I've matched that to the back and sides.
Yeah. We'll get some close-ups, yeah. It's absolutely beautiful. It plays really well.
Thank you.
It's just, and with the oil finish, they just speak. And Savada's strings are on just now.
Yeah.
So warm, it's so inviting. It's just a really inviting instrument to play. Beautiful, lovely treble, lovely sound, very easy to play. Congratulations.
Thank you, that's very kind.
Well done. Well, listen, Mark, it's been an absolute pleasure to come to your workshop, spend a bit of time with you today, and maybe we'll come back in a few months and see the competition guitar assembled and see where you are with the final sort of polishing or oil finishing, and I'll put links to Mark's website and all that in the description so you can find out more about Mark and see what he's up to, and get you some nice close-ups of this beautiful instrument that I was trying today. Thank you all very much for listening, and thanks Mark.
My pleasure, thank you.